Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. Today, we're flying the CubCrafters XCub. We're going from Whitehorse in the Yukon down to Skagway, Alaska. Should be about a 37-minute flight. I don't know what altitude we're going to go at. I have not decided, but we'll figure that out. We're going to go visual. About 80 miles, climb aboard. Let's go flying. I'm slowly losing my sanity. And I don't care. I sound so twisted. Okay, here we are loaded in with the plane with the really cool paint scheme. XCub Launch Edition. I think it looks pretty awesome. 3408. Okay, here we are loaded in on the ground. I'm going to turn the battery switch on. Start up. Strobe light. This is the land version. We don't have to worry about the water rudder, but we do have the parking brake. We'll check all of that. So we'll do a standard run up. Should be pretty easy. Let's grab the weather here at Whitehorse real quick. 3408. So that means we could take either of the 32s, or we could take runway 2, which I think we may do. 40 miles visibility, 9,600 scattered, 28,000 scattered, 28 Celsius. Wow. That is really warm. Oh, Maria, welcome. That doesn't sound good, getting in the plane and hearing the pilot saying, I'm slowly losing my sanity. Oh. You've got a good point. I'm still sane enough to fly, so be reassured by that. Anyway, here, 30.01. 28 Celsius is very warm for Whitehorse. .3001 is set on the altimeter. Alright, couple things. Throttles backward. Prop goes full forward. Mixture gets enriched. Fuel pump on until fuel flow. What? No. Okay, hold on a second here. Magneto's on. Fuel pump on. Now, okay, pressure's coming up. Alright, now we can turn it off. Strobe light is on. Alternator field on, and we are good to go ahead and start the engine here. Clear left, clear right. Clear! Oh, let's do better than that. Come on. There we go. Temperature is rising, fuel pressure, oil pressure is in the yellow. It's low because it's idle, so we just gotta bump that forward. And it's up into the green. And that looks good. Let's pull back on that a bit. It's a little bit too high. Generally, we want 1,000 RPM when we're not moving. And that is with the power set right at about 20%. Kind of right there. Really sure why it's doing that. Alright, well, we're gonna do the run up here on the ramp. Just check these out. So what we're gonna do is push the power up to 2,000 RPM. Just somewhere right about there. About 40%. Alright, first thing we're going to do is check the mags. So up here it switches. So we're going to turn the first switch off and we should see a drop of about 50. Good. Back on. Let's check this one. Good. Back on. We're going to cycle the prop. That means let's take this blue lever, pull it all the way back. It should go down to about 18. Yeah, that's good. Now back forward. Goes back up to a little over 2,000 where it was. We'll do that a second time. Good, and back forward. And we are good. Engine instruments are all green, no errors, warnings, cautions. Let's go back to idle, and it should idle about 600. And there's the oil pressure drop back into the yellow. Let's push it back forward to about 20-something%. We'll work with that. That's good. Tiny bit, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn the avionics master on. Nav lights on. Those all stay where they're at, and we are ready to taxi. So what we can do is probably swing around and just take off runway 2. In fact, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna release the park and brake here. Clear left, clear right, and we're just gonna swing the nose around here. Nice and easy. You can't make too sharp of turns in the tail wheels. And we need to come out this way. It is very tricky to see around here when you're in this kind of a plane. So yeah, we need to come back over here.
Take me away from home.
That helps a little bit.
Chase the night, race all of these broken dreams.
Nice and easy on the taxi.
And we'll fly.
Good thing we have the little previewer there to make sure we stay on the center line. It is very tough to see without that right now. And you can't hit the brakes too hard. Alright, there we are at the hold short bore. Let's go ahead and set the park and brake. Alright, a couple things to check here. We are going to take off directly ahead on runway 2. We're going to turn around. And we'll fly the course. And let's go ahead and just set a couple autopilot things. 2200. So let's set the altitude for now to 4500, and we can go higher or lower as needed. VNav on. Set the FLC speed to 70. Runway heading is set. We're good to take off. Alright, just a couple things to check. Mixture's full, ridge prop is full forward. All switches are on. Landing light comes on. Trim should be set to take off. Good. Alright, here we go. Full power. Engine instruments are looking good. Airspeed's alive. We're kind of just dancing a little bit here. Nose lowers. We can rotate. We're up. We should have lowered flaps, but we were totally safe at takeoff without flaps at that speed. So we're good. A nice, just gradual pitch up. Take a look here, the view of Whitehorse. We'll engage the autopilot at 3,000 feet. Flying over the mighty Yukon River. Little more. There we go. Autopilot is set. We're going to go ahead and pull the prop back just a little bit. Seek about 2650 on the RPMs. Heading select on, and we are going to turn. Basically all the way around. Now we get a really good view of the city right down here. Grab a quick view out of the cockpit. There's the town, the river, the airport. Beautiful. And there's 4,500 feet. We've already leveled off. We can pull back on the power. It's at about 70% cruise. Power right there. A little further back. Right about there. And we leave the prop control really wherever we want. What we can do is take the heading selector, turn it right about that way to follow our course. And let's see, landing light can come off. Those all stay on. Can lean the mixture here in a moment. So our route today, here's Whitehorse. We can follow the river, although it would take us out of the way a little bit. What I think we're going to do is actually set a heading over here to Carcross Airport. So we'll probably actually turn 20 degrees or so. Right down to about there. And it is pretty bumpy over here. Just, we won't be able to, I mean, we'd have to climb and go over all those mountains and stuff. Alright. We're gonna have to turn a little more, actually. Let's go another 10 degrees to the left. Bumpy. Ooh. There we go, now we're... Yeah. So we want to fly basically this way here, so we're actually going to have to turn a little bit further. It's about a 10 knot crosswind. Another 10 degrees to turn for now. And it's going to be probably a fairly bumpy flight. Alright, there's a flight display up at the top. Not totally sure why the ETA isn't coming up. Oh, excuse me. That is interesting. Some sort of a parameter must be missing. Ah. Oh well. Oh, you can still see the other information. Altitude, heading. You can kind of see we're getting bumped around a fair bit up here. 115 over the ground. And at that, it's showing about a 30. Now it's showing about 39 minutes based on that. Might be a tiny, tiny trace bit longer. I don't know. Hopefully we'll be able to make up good speed. I mean, we've got the wind, but so the route that we're going today, here's Whitehorse. We're going to follow this valley down right here at Carcross. This is Lake Bennett. We're going to follow Lake Bennett down, and then we're going to fly basically down this way or over this way, one of the two. This is the White Pass, and this is the Chilkat Pass. Both of them lead to Skagway. Let's see what the weather at Skagway is. We can plan 210 at 17 gusting to 24, so we're definitely going to want to land this way. That means we'll probably fly kind of over this way and fly over the White Pass, because if we fly over the Chilkat Pass, we have to turn around and land on runway 2, and that's going to suck in that kind of wind. 10 miles visibility, clear skies, 19 Celsius, 2991. And they had a couple rain showers there for a short time. But okay. And it's definitely a little bit on the bumpy side up here. That is one advantage of climbing high over the terrain, is that you're not subject to the wind and turbulence that you often get flying in between mountains or close to a slope of them. Yeah, this wind is shifting just a little bit. About a 6-knot headwind component. Not too bad. Let's take a look around though. Look at that. Those lakes right down there, right between the mountains. Look at that. And those of you that saw the flight from Skagway up to Whitehorse in the Diamond a while back, we're going to be going a different direction than what you saw in that flight, so we should get treated to some pretty fresh new scenery. Alright, looks like we're gonna adjust our course just slightly here. Maybe 10 degrees to the right. It is bumpy! I mean, this is continuous. Like, I mean, it has not let up. I mean, it's light, but it is just non-stop. And yeah, we're not really following the GPS track, I know. It's kind of way out of the way. I mean, look at how much red that takes us over. And if I check the chart, we would have to go at... Oh, these are Canadian charts. Let me see here. Yeah, we'd have to be probably well over 7,000 to 8,000 to be able to clear all that. And if you fly low to the ground, the advantage you get is kind of seeing the beautiful scenery a little bit more up close, and you get to appreciate it, admire it, curse it, depending. It's definitely quite turbulent. Alright, we zoom in here. Yep, so this is the Carcross Airport. And let me just check the map again real quick. We go the right way, because we're going visually. Remember, we're not following the GPS track. And not going direct, so we kind of have to navigate by sight. That's what VFR is, Visual Flight Rules. You have to... I mean, you can use GPS or VORs or other navigational beacons and stuff like that. But the rule is what you do is you look outside, you look for aircraft, you avoid them, you avoid terrain, you don't fly through clouds, stuff like that. And one of the most important things when you fly VFR is what they call pilotage. And what that means is find where you want to go by looking at things on a chart. And look at the chart and find them in, you know, outside. So, as we know that we're looking here for Carcross Airport, so we're headed to that. Next, we know we need to fly over the lake. This is Bennett Lake. When the lake stops, where do we go? Well, you'll see kind of a smaller lake with a bunch of tiny lakes right beside it. When we go there, we need to turn left until we find the second river and small group of lakes and fly down that way between the mountains. And we know that that will ultimately take us up into, or down into Skagway right here. So that's what we'll do. So we'll have to find that airport, fly down the lake, and that'll be one of the tougher points to navigate. Crossing over to make sure we follow the White Pass. I mean, if we do end up following the Chilkoot Pass, not a big deal because we'll still end up where we need to be. The exception is we'll have to fly around and come in this way. There's a mountain there in the way, and we'll have to do some kind of crazy maneuvering to get down into Skagway, because we can't land runway 2. We need to land runway 20, given the weather. Grab a quick look outside. Look at that. That's pretty neat. It's the lakes, the forests, some more mountains. Whoa! Look at that. Oh, that's pretty cool. Out back over this way, you can see Whitehorse. I missed Miles Canyon on the river. It's just south of Whitehorse. It's a pretty famous landmark. Yukon River actually goes around this way, I believe. Kind of behind this ridge. Ties in back over that way. Because there's Lake Bennett, but then there's Tagish Lake. Love the front of this plane. It's smiling. It's got its eyes, it's got the nose as its propeller, and a smile. Well, the XCub looks fairly similar. CubCrafters has some really cool stuff. They have the NX-Cub, the X-Cub. I think they have something called the EX-Cub. And they have a couple really cool planes that they've developed to try to basically reproduce the old famous Piper J3 Cub, or the Super Cub. And I think they've done a good job with it because they've taken it and stayed true to the original aircraft's design, but they've expanded it, making it more powerful, more capable, having more modern equipment. Avionics aren't really, when I say equipment, so much what I'm focusing on, but I mean you have all the updated electrical equipment that modern planes have. Constant speed prop mixture, which the original Cub didn't have. Flaps. I actually flew a Piper Cub about 15 years ago, and it was a lot of fun. It's a really cool plane. Take a look outside here. And here is Carcross. There's the road, there's the airport, and there's the town. Very, very small community that sits here. And this is Bennett Lake, or Lake Bennett. And then this is the way over here to Tagish Lake. And the Yukon River goes up that way. Whoa! Look at that. Alright, let's look at the map real quick. So, what direction do we go? The lake splits here. So it just stops over on that end if you go right. So we know that we need to follow the left side all the way down. And then when it ends, there's a smaller lake right here in front of it and a bunch of tiny lakes around it. And that's the point where we'll turn left and connect over this way. If we followed this small lake and all of this here, this is the Chilkoot Pass, which we don't want to take today. Maybe another time. Believe it or not, we're almost halfway. It doesn't feel like it. So we're going this way. Let's go back into the cockpit and let's just go ahead and make a... Oh, now we're getting a headwind. 125 over the ground. That's helping us out. And I almost just for fun have kind of half a mind to descend lower. Lake's right down at about 2,000, so we probably should not do that. Oh! There's a railroad. I forgot about that. Let's turn 5 or 10 degrees to the left. We'll actually need to turn a little more, because the wind is pushing us. So we'll turn 15 degrees or so. But yeah, there's the railroad. I totally forgot about it. It's not going to show up on here. Okay, let's look on the map. So the White Pass. We are about here. And there's a railroad right there that follows the lake. And then it turns, which is where we're going to turn. And it follows all the way, and you can see White Pass right here. The GPS trackings, interestingly, take us over the Chilkat Pass, and then further out. But the terrain is high. You can see 6,000, 7,000, in a couple cases almost 8,000, so the safe altitude is over 8,500. And now I'm looking for that railroad. They've got to have it on here somewhere. And there's the smiling plane. Yeah, I do not see the railroad out here. I'd be disappointed if we don't get to see it at all. If you had a seaplane, you could land on the lake, which would be kind of fun. Let me look at something here. 2,500. Yeah, the lake sits just above 2,000 feet above sea level. And White Pass is close to, 2960. It's just below 3,000 feet. So, I mean, we could descend down to 3,500. A little better of a view. If our engine fails, we would just have to ditch in the water. That's what we'd probably have to do anyway, no matter what we're flying here. I don't think we'd be able to turn and make it back to anywhere. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Oh, these spectacular views here. We're at 125 over the ground. On what I'm looking at, we probably should not. We do have a little bit of room to descend. And then we can climb up over the pass if we need to cross it at higher than 500 feet. Again, we're kind of just navigating with the heading selector. Wow. We are 3,500, and now look at the different view that we get. We're a little more than halfway. But it actually will be a more direct path to get to Skagway from here, so second half of the flight will actually be shorter than the first half. Oh, look! Look right there, the shadow of our airplane. And yeah, you can kind of see this is where the railroad would kind of go right along the edge of the lake. So it's there in the satellite imagery. But it isn't really, I guess, modeled as a railroad, if that makes sense. Okay, so here's where this splits. So we get to the end of the lake right here. We're gonna go left. We follow these right over here. And let me check the altitude of all of those. It's below 3,000, so we're legal. And we would have open area to land if we needed to. Oh, that looks like improper. Yeah. Look, the water's a couple feet higher on this side. Okay. Alright. Oh, look right there. There's like a hotel or something. Couple little resorts. I think it's just like a little inn. But this is the actual, this is the White Pass Trail. The Chilkoot Trail would go that way. We'll get a good view of that here in a moment. Let's get back into the cockpit here. And make a heading adjustment. Nice gradual turn. Perfect, right about there. This is Lindsman Lake, I believe. And we are less than 1,000 feet above this terrain. We're probably 600 to 700 feet above it. We have open areas, and that is legal, as the requirement is that we stay 500 feet above the terrain. Unless we're coming into land. And with the terrain, if we wanted to, you know, provided that we follow any local and territory rules, regulations, we would be able to land this aircraft off, like, as they call off airport. So this is equipped for bush landings. So, in the tundra or gravel on shore, stuff like that. So if you look off to the left, or off to the right, I'm sorry, that's the way the Chilkoot Trail goes. We get to that lake, they would hike up over the summit. Which direction, I'm not 100% sure if it was that one or that one there. Or kind of one up there. But that's the way they would go. Nice gradual turn back over this way. Not that far. Now we're probably every little bit of 500 feet above this. Kind of stuttering a little bit there. And there's the road. And the road kind of follows the railroad. Alright. And I will admit, I am cheating slightly just by using the heading bug instead of flying the plane by hand. So that way we have a fixed altitude and I'm not having to worry about trimming the plane out. Constantly fine-tuning the altitude as well as trying to turn and everything. So historically, during the Klondike Gold Rush, the Stampeders would either take the White Pass or Chilkoot Trails. Well, the Chilkoot Trail was a lot shorter. The White Pass was a lot easier. You'll see that reflected with the more gradual terrain. See, over all of this, we're still only about 500 to 600 feet above the ground. But look at the view. Look at that. I think that view's even better. We go outside the cockpit and take a look. Let's see what we get. Wow. That's gorgeous. And you can kind of see it mapped out. That's the Chilkoot Pass right there. We're gonna climb a couple hundred feet, just for good measure. The terrain rises kind of gradually over here. So if you look here, Chilkoot Pass goes right up through this gap here. It's red right at the border. Whereas here, where we have the yellow, it's a much more gradual pass. little bit of lag on the computer. Wow. Beautiful. I think this is just a little bit resource intensive. Just because, I mean, look how complex the terrain is. All the trees, all the little lakes, streams. Whoa! That's definitely struggling a little bit here. And I've got a powerful computer, but this is very resource intensive. So take a look here at the pass. You just follow the road as the route of the pass. And what we'll probably be able to do is when we pass over and it starts dropping off, you see here with the black is where the terrain is a lot lower, and we'll probably just be able to follow that down and more or less glide on our way to Skagway. If you zoom out and look, just wide open all the way down. I think we're gonna get really rewarded with a beautiful view. And we are back in America. Past the border right about here. It runs right here. I don't know, I remember when we went from Dawson to Eagle, or the other way around, the border they kind of etched in the trees. I don't think they did that here, although I'm not sure. Oh, wow, take a look at that right there. Wow. And it just drops off to the water right there. Skagway sits right down here. What an absolutely gorgeous view. In fact, I'm going to disengage the autopilot. We're going to pull the power back. And we're going to go just start a nice gradual descent down. We're going to fly through the pass. We'll have to be careful because of the some of the wind we may encounter up here through the pass. Alright, let's grab the weather here at Skagway real quick. I believe it's updated. 200 at 25, gust to 35. 10 miles visibility, sky clear, 21 Celsius, 2990 on the altimeter. Oh man, this is going to be very, very difficult, especially in this aircraft. This may not end well, just a word of warning. The good news is the wind is going to be right down the runway, but still. This may be incredibly challenging. We want to get as slow as possible, so what we're going to do is just pull the power completely. And as we slowly kind of follow the way down. Yeah, just look at the creek and look at the road. We're slow enough that we can lower the first notch of flaps. And we'll put some power back in. And again, at all times, we're staying 500 feet above the terrain. Now, of course, it rises steeply off to the sides, we follow the track with kind of the black or the blue right here, where the river is, we know we're the highest possible point above terrain in the area that we can be. So we're going to keep following this here. There's going to be a little bit of a turn. We're still a little bit too fast to go the second notch of flaps, but as we continue descending, we'll correct for that. Oh, look at that. Wow. Alright, I see the runway. Still just a tiny bit fast for my liking. Second level of flaps, and kind of want to get safely... Yep, there we go. I was going to say, we want to try to get below about 88. Here comes the tricky part. The wind is only showing about 10 knots here. When we get out closer over, it may shift on us. I see the runway. And the computer is definitely struggling right here. Oh man, it's probably just all the plants eating up a lot of resources. Terrain is also complex in the area. Alright, we're still too fast. Go full flaps. So we're going to take the power out. Final items here. Landing light comes on. Mixture stays full rich. We never did lean it out. We don't need to. And add a little bit of power because we're getting slow. There's going to be a lot of wind shear here. Yeah, we're a little bit lower than I'd like to be. We're just kind of getting pushed down a little bit by the wind. Let's go full flaps. Nice and easy. See, this is when I wish I was in the diamond, or not a tail wheel, because this is going to be very difficult in a tail wheel, the wind as strong as it is, although it's only showing about 20 knots right now. Oh no, it's picking up as we get closer to the ground. Oh boy. Alright, well, we'll deal with what we got, you know. Add the power in. Okay on the flaps. Just the wind coming up like that. It's shifted. It's not completely right down the runway. Nice and easy. Add the power in. A little bit of power. Little bit of power. Nice and easy down. Minus 211. That's pretty rough. But given the difficulty with the wind and everything, I'm glad we didn't hit the ground and run off the runway. Alright, nice and easy on the brakes. And this, you cannot hit the brakes hard. We actually could just roll out to the end. Let's go flaps up. It's going to make it a little easier to control. Because the rotate speed is so low, a gust of wind actually could lift the tail off the ground. And the plane could... Not saying it would go airborne, but it could definitely get enough lift as to where that would be a possibility. Alright, nice gentle turn right here. Okay. And the lines on here are all messed up. Couple things, landing light off. And the lines kind of shift again. Yeah, so that was a pretty hard landing, coming down at -200, but number one, the wind was very unpredictable, and when you're flying in wind like that, you can settle to the ground very easily if a gust comes and then just dissipates. So is that where they're gonna have us parked? Alright, let's see here. And this is the way the tail wheel works, and this is why it's kind of tricky. So tell you what we're gonna do. Let's throttle forward, and we're gonna go back here between these two trucks. Right over the one. Oh no! Oh my gosh. And that's why you can't hit the brakes too hard. Oh man. So that's what happens, is the forward center of gravity of the aircraft. I can't believe I just did that. Alright, we're going on the ground. Back at Whitehorse. We're not redoing the flight, but man. Ah, it's unbelievable. Yeah, definitely next time taking the XCub. So anyway, what happens is the center of gravity is so far forward on this aircraft. And keep in mind, I don't fly this much. I mean, I fly the Cirrus and the Diamond much more. So the handling is a little tough to get used to. The way it's a tail wheel, when you're flying, your center of gravity is far forward. That's why the tail wheel is so low. It's to keep the weight of the engine from causing the plane to tip forward. But if you hit the brakes hard, your brake pressure is on these forward wheels. Oh, well done to the van that didn't go right through my aircraft. So what happens is the momentum shifts toward the nose. And what happens is, if this gets too low to where the rest of the aircraft basically doesn't weigh down and keep the nose up, what happens is the nose tips over, you'll have a prop strike, and you've done thousands of dollars of damage to your aircraft engine. So, well, we'll still say it's a successful flight. We just screwed up trying to turn and maneuver around the truck to get parked, but I mean, for all practical purposes, it was done. Now, oh well, it happens. But yeah, folks, thanks for flying with me. Welcome into Skagway, and then, well, welcome back to Whitehorse after my screw up. I hope you all enjoyed the flight, and look forward to catching you all on the next one. And until then, folks, take care, stay safe. We'll see ya.